Good evening.
Good evening, Kristen.
Hello.
Hi, I'm here. It's Ashley. I'm in the car.
Hi, it's Shanna.
I'm not used to doing Zoom on my phone either. So is there no way for me to see who's on the meeting?
You can flip over, you swipe to the right,
Oh.
it'll show you the gallery view.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So there's only 4 of us.
No, there's a lot more. It's
There's a few
different
more.
doing it on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's one more.
Okay, well, I'm just going to
You
mute
keep
myself
flipping.
so I don't get in a car accident. Thank you, Kristen,
Yeah,
for,
no,
for doing this.
of
I got
course.
stuck up at the cabin a little bit longer than expected because they couldn't get the work done in time. So
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
I'm muting.
No problem. So I will be our fearless leader today, and looks like we've got about 15 or so, 17. So we'll just give everyone a few more minutes and then we'll get started in just a few minutes. What time was the board meeting tonight? Just curious. There could be some overlap. Although that wasn't a public, was it? Yeah, it's viewing public. It's just not open for public comment, I think, right? Yeah.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay, yeah. So we're overlapping with that. Well, hopefully ours will be just as eventful, or maybe not as eventful, whatever way you look at it. So that'll be good. All right, well, we've got about 20. So I think we're at a good critical mass if everyone's okay with starting. I will open us up. I'd just like to welcome everyone to academic year 21-22. Go Sabercats. Hopefully everyone's year is off to a great start. I know that we've been very busy at our home. Your homes are probably buzzing like ours, and back to kind of the regular pace of things. So it feels good and crazy all at the same time. So before we jump into our agenda this evening, this is our fall kickoff meeting, although we had a couple over the summer. So thank you to those that joined. Thank you to any new families that are joining us today. And because we might have some new families, we wanted to introduce our Math and Science Academy Booster Board, and then also, of course, our awesome faculty that are here with us this evening. So I'm going to start us off with that, and then we'll jump into the agenda. That sounds okay with everyone. So I'm Kristen Will. I am a mother of 2 daughters at Saguaro High School. My only 2 children are both at Saguaro. I have a junior and a senior. Sophia is my senior, Sophia Will, and then Isabella Will is junior. And we love this school and love this program, and came to it from other places like many of you, and have been very thrilled and feel very supported these past several years that we've been here. So I'll turn it over to Shonda Carruthers, who'd like to introduce herself, and we'll keep going around our board.
Hi, I'm Shanda Carruthers. My son Brody is a senior in MSA, and hopefully my daughter will be in MSA next year as a freshman. Yeah, I'm helping with fundraising this year on the board. So welcome, everyone.
Thanks, Sean. I failed to mention my role. So I'm vice president of the board. Sorry about that. I'm running the meeting tonight.
Jump in real quick. Sorry. Do you mind?
Yeah,
if
and I was going to say, Ashley, why don't you introduce yourself? You are unmuted. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I couldn't be on the meeting because I'm driving home from our cabin and got stuck there a little bit longer than expected with some work that was going on in the house. So I'm Ashley McAndrews, and I'm the president of MSA. I've been on the board for the last 3 years. I have triplets. My daughters both attend Saguaro. They're seniors, and then my son is a senior at New Way Academy. And pretty much the Math and Science Academy is the reason that we ended up at Saguaro. It's not our home school, but we went there for that and for the community and some other great things about Saguaro. And we have just been very, very happy that we made that decision. So thank you so much for being here.
Great, thanks, Ashley. And Sumana, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shumana or Sumana, and I am a secretary on the board. And my younger son is a junior this year in the MSA program at Saguaro. We also, like everyone else, chose Saguaro, even though it's not our home school, for this reason. And we even moved to be closer to Saguaro to do this. So no regrets. We're so happy and we're so excited. And I'm so glad to be here with all of you. Welcome. Katie?
My name is Katie Foster. I'm the treasurer. This is my second year on the board. My daughter Natalie is a senior, and the program, the academy, has just been unbelievable for her. I think it's really the changes I've seen in her because of the staff and program are just incredible. And I'm so grateful for the opportunities that she's gotten. And I'm so thankful for the amazing staff and support we have. Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks, Katie. Melanie?
Hi, everyone. Of course, I was muted when I was talking, but I'm a co-event coordinator with Shelley, and we are very excited for this school year. Hopefully, we can do more in-person things. I do have a junior in MSA and also now a freshman. So I have my daughter's a junior and my son is a freshman. And I also have a student at Pueblo. Saguaro is our school. We've been through Pueblo, Mojave, and Saguaro, and my daughter did the Spanish immersion. They're all three doing the Spanish immersion program as well. So it's really exciting to do MSA and the Spanish immersion. So that's what attracted us to Saguaro.
Great, thanks, Melanie. And I'm looking for Shelley Doherty, but not sure if she's on yet. Shelley, am I missing you or I'm just not seeing you? But welcome to Shelley, who's a new member of our board, and she's going to be co-events coordinator along with Melanie. So we're really excited to have her. And did I miss any other board members? I don't think so. Okay, good. So I'd like to have our faculty just introduce themselves. So Mr. Brandt.
Well, I'm Mr. Brandt. I am the distinction coordinator. I take care of most of the upperclassmen students. So once they've been at Saguaro for a couple of years, I take care of them. I'm involved in robotics. I do a lot of other things. And if your student wants to come see me, I live there in the Innovation Center. So I'm working on the STEM certification. I'm always working on getting some grant money for the academy, and I'm one of the guys who started this thing, and very amazed at the support we get from our parents, and very grateful for that.
Thank you. He's very humble when he says I'm one of the guys who started this. He's been here since the beginning with Ms. Lindberg. Ms. Lindberg, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Susan Lindberg, and I am also one of the Math and Science Academy coordinators. I'm officially the event coordinator, and I am the teacher of record for robotics, and ditto to everything Mr. Brandt said. And he is the one that started robotics and the MSA and everything. He's the force behind all of us.
Thank you. Thank you both. Mr. Miller.
Hello, I'm Mr. Miller and I teach Algebra 2 Honors, the sophomore cohort math class, along with AP Seminar this year. And then I have 2 periods a day where I am working down there as the cohort coordinator, working with the 9th and 10th graders mostly.
Great. Thank you so much. So Mr. Milligan and Ms. Onsinger are at the board meeting tonight. So normally they will actually join us, not all the time, but most times. But they're obviously at that very important meeting tonight as well. So lots going on in our world. So thank you for introductions. And again, welcome. I think the first kind of piece of information that was on our agenda was actually for Mr. Brandt, just to kind of go over and recap the levels of distinction, talk a little bit about the internships, and perhaps along with Mr. Miller, talk about the AP capstone and AP seminar.
Okay, well, the Academy is a program about opportunities for students. We try to provide a lot of STEM opportunities and to encourage students to push themselves as much as possible to take these opportunities and to excel with them. We hope to teach other things besides just STEM. We hope that they get involved with their community service, and leadership skills. We hope they learn those things too. And so some of our students just start in the cohorts, and because we are an amazing high school with a super arts department, music department, we have just so many talented students and teachers. They sometimes find their way away from the Academy, but they remain a member the entire time. So we have some students that just have a membership and benefit from our events that Mrs. Lindbergh gets going during the year. We actually had like 65 events in a year where we had COVID. So we're still strong trying to provide STEM opportunities. Then we have this year we're going to have a scholar recognition. The scholar recognition, you have to do a little more work. It encourages you to take a few more STEM classes to get involved in the STEM clubs, and then we're going to give you a little medallion. Like the kids, when they graduate from Saguaro High School, they get a Saguaro High School medallion. And so our Academy kids that are just scholars or commended scholars or distinguished graduates will get this medallion now. And then we have the commended scholar. The commended scholar is quite a list. It does open it up to some of our students that do not make it through calculus. Also allows some of the STEM related classes, such as criminology, forensics, ones that are taught by the social studies department, psychology, that sort of thing, allows them to kind of, if they don't have a solid STEM focus, they can still be recognized by the Academy. And then finally, our distinguished graduates, and that program was developed based on students scoring as high as possible on college rubric for an out-of-state university. And so this particular program, although it is flexible based on the students' needs, drives them to take 9 advanced math and science classes, to complete several different competitions, to do a field experience, and also take advanced English, and they have the foreign language and all the other things that they need to get accepted from out of state.
If we can have everyone mute themselves, that would be wonderful, just in case we get some feedback. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that's pretty much our levels. The kids that do get the diploma from the Scottsdale Math and Science Academy, their transcript looks a little bit different, and they do get a second diploma. Both the commended scholar and the distinguished graduates are recognized at the end of the year with their separate ceremony. And so we hope that these are things that will drive the students to push themselves in the area of STEM so they're better prepared when they move on to the university.
Great, that's wonderful. Any questions or comments about that? And we can talk about the AP seminar capstone too.
We're going to have Mr. Miller talk about the AP capstone and seminar.
Perfect. I was just about to turn it over to him.
So the AP capstone program, it's a relatively new program from College Board. I think it's in its 5th year, and it came out of, I guess College Board went to the universities and said, what do students need? What are they coming in lacking? And research skills came up. And so College Board developed this 2-year program to improve those skills. And there are 2 classes. The first one students can take is AP Seminar, and that's usually in 9th grade or 10th grade. And they mainly focus on considering issues from multiple perspectives, identifying credible sources as they're researching those issues, evaluating the arguments from those sources, and then synthesizing what they've learned into their own arguments and providing evidence-based solutions. And in that class, they will end up writing 2 research papers. One is a group research paper. They write the research paper on their own, but then they pool all their information and they do a group report. And then the second research paper is an individual one, and they do an individual presentation for that. And that's most of the second semester is those 2 projects. And then they do have a 2-hour AP test where they identify an argument and write an argumentative essay. That's the basics of the seminar course. You don't have to take both, but you can't take research without the seminar. If you do take the seminar course, you can take the second course, which is the AP research course. And that they have a lot more freedom as far as what they're doing. They will learn about various research methods, but most of the year they'll be working on an independent research paper. And then at the end of the year, they'll be submitting and defending an academic paper. Students that complete both classes can get an AP capstone certificate, and that award gets sent to the colleges by AP. It's put on their AP information. And then if they take both these classes or if they get a 3 on these for these 2 classes and 4 additional AP classes, then they can earn the AP capstone diploma, which is a pretty neat thing for them to have on their transcript. And students that are pursuing distinctions, we have 4 AP classes built into the program, so they would do that without having to take any extra classes other than the distinction ones. And students that take both AP Seminar and AP Research are forgiven one of those 9 advanced science and math courses to make it a little bit easier. So they have to take 8 advanced science and math and then the 2 capstone courses. Those are the basics. If there are questions, I'd be happy to try and answer any.
I have a question that came up, and this might be just a point of discussion, is how does that then integrate with the internship requirement for the distinction or commended scholar? Can that be integrated into that as with the research component?
Yes. So the research class and that research paper would count as their field experience.
Which is, so you get that and your 9th course. So that's kind of awesome. Yeah. Great.
There's one more, Kristen and Mr. Miller, Mr. Brandt, and Ms. Lindbergh. There's a question from one parent who says, how does my freshman know who is in this cohort group? He isn't in typical freshman math, so they're a little confused about that.
I can speak to that because I had Matt last year in Algebra 2 honors. So he's not going to be in the cohort math classes just because he's advanced, but he should be in biology honors and the English, pre-AP honors English. And he should be with mostly Math and Science Academy students in those.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
I have a question as well, Mr. Miller, about the AP seminar. So given that that's a new class this year, is it guaranteed that you're going to offer the AP research next year, or is that kind of in question depending on how many kids decide to continue next year?
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. I can't say that. The goal is that we offer it next year. It could be the case that since we have mostly 10th graders, that we skip a year and then offer it beginning the following year when they would be seniors, and that way we'd have another group of seminar students that finished. But I know our goal is to offer it next year. I'm just not positive that'll happen.
Is there a minimum enrollment that you'll need to offer it?
I don't think there's a minimum enrollment. It's just if we can get staffing and get the funding to have a teacher with a small class. So the seminar this year, because we only had 9 students, is after school. It was too hard to schedule it during the day. Next year, hopefully we'll have enough students where that'll just be a regular class during the school day. And if research is next year, it would probably be the case that that was an 8-hour class after school. And then once we get it going, they would be classes just scheduled during the regular day.
Thank you.
Great question. And we're fielding a few questions in the chat as well. So we put some websites there for you all to look at for the levels. So it's on the MSA page, so you can pull down the drop-down menu and look at the different levels and what's required for the specific courses and so forth. That would be, I think, a consult with Mr. Brandt just to look at those for your individual child. But those general descriptions are available on the website. Someone mentioned WhatsApp and communicating with the different parents and new information and so forth. I think that's a really good idea. Our preferred method of social media outreach is Facebook. We have a Facebook page. I think the link is in the chat if you want to check it out. And we can certainly look into other things, but as right now, that's what we're trying to maintain. So that social media outlet is our preferred route. So thank you though for your ideas and suggestions. And Sumana just put the Facebook page back in the chat again. So let me see if I missed any other questions. I don't see any. Okay. Shumana has helped me with the chat too, so thank you so much. So great. I think next up on the agenda was Ms. Lindberg was just going to talk about the MSA clubs, and we can probably, if we want to, we're one of our items is to talk about Club Rush. So I don't know, maybe we'll talk about those both together, Ms. Lindberg, if you'd like to.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, so with regards to also the cohort classes, this week we're having a meet and greet. So Thursday will be the freshman day for coming at lunch into the community center. I did send out emails about that. We have a sign out there also. So Mr. Brandt and Mr. Miller and I can run over some things about what's next in the academic pathway for the students, and also just a chance for them to get to know their peers. So we started out with seniors on Monday, Tuesday was juniors, tomorrow will be sophomores, and Thursday at lunch will be freshmen. So please ask your students to show up. And we have some nice ice cold Udder Pops for them also. So next week, we are going to do a kind of an overview via Zoom at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. And I will send out an email about that. 4 o'clock Wednesday, September 1st. It's a district release, half day, 4 to 5. And it's just going to be about all the STEM related clubs on campus. Most of them are supported by MSA teachers, but they are open to all students. And then there will be a clarification and emphasis on those clubs that have competitions associated with them. So we'll talk a little bit about the competition requirement for graduating with distinctions at the beginning, and then each coach for the individual clubs will just give a rundown of what each club is all about. It's not all of the clubs on campus. It's only the STEM related clubs or clubs that have MSA is sponsoring. So that will be Wednesday. And then Thursday during lunch will be the school-wide club rush in the gym. And that's when kids can go check out all the clubs. They'll have a little head start because they'll know about some of the clubs. So they'll have some time to go see all the other clubs and sign up.
Great, thank you. That was perfect.
Oh, and also one thing to
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow, we are Jake Weiss, who is our Cyber Patriot president. He is send out some emails, texts to kids, but we're having our second Cyber Patriot meeting tomorrow at 2:30 to 3:30 in the Innovation Center.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
So they'll receive a list, the kids will all receive a list of the different clubs and descriptions, and they'll kind of get a feel for what they might be interested in. Many of them already have expressed interest. I know we had quite the showing for robotics, I'm told, which is very cool, along with some of the other clubs. So we're busting at the seams, which is amazing. And we'll talk a little bit more about what we're trying to do to help get more support. But kind of looking back to the agenda, of note, as you know, we were supposed to all meet in person tonight, or technically, was it tonight or tomorrow night? Anyway, we decided to make this meeting online. It just makes things a little bit more simple right now, as our numbers for COVID are ramping back up. And, you know, there's all different viewpoints around everything. So we thought this would be the best way to reach everyone. We did want an opportunity, though, for those that have not been able to see the Innovation Center, those new families to Saguaro, or those that just simply hadn't been able to come, to be able to view the Innovation Center. So there will be an opportunity to come there in person tomorrow. We have that opened up between 5:30 to 7, I believe we agreed on. Is that right, Mr. Brandt? Double checking myself from memory. Okay, great, got a thumbs up. And you will be able to go and view the Innovation Center. It'll be a good way to you know, talk to Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindbergh, Mr. Miller, and see it. It's an amazing place, an amazing space. Sure. So it'll be a great event as well. And a great way to keep everyone, I think, safe and split everything up. If you are coming in person, obviously, please wear a mask. It is required for on-campus inside facilities at this point. So thank you for that. So other upcoming events, the PSAT study, the PSAT will be on October 26th. That is open to sophomores and juniors. It is free to sophomores. They're automatically, I think, signed up for it. The juniors have to pay $20 at the bookstore. So just remind your juniors to get that money and sign up for the PSAT. For both the sophomore and juniors, there will be a study session prior to that event. That date is TBD, but we'll have more information about that coming soon. And typically these are after school, and we provide some snacks and some goodies for the students. Typically we like a sign up just so we know how many kids are coming and how many to anticipate as well, and provide a little bit more social distancing too. So that more information will be coming as to a date for that. Our booster club also really likes to support all of our teachers, and we support all the teachers. We don't just choose, you know, the Math and Science Academy teachers. We're supporting the whole school. So as is the study session for PSAT, it's open to all students, not just the MSA students. So we'll be providing a teacher appreciation breakfast sometime this fall, and we coordinate that with the PTO. So we like to do it on different days and different weeks than they are doing their events, so we can help spread the wealth, if you will, for our teachers and wonderful faculty that help teach our kids every day. So there'll be more information about that. We'd love people to help and sign up. We have our events team that will help with that. And there'll certainly be some information about that coming out pretty soon. I'm going to turn it over to Melanie to talk about the different events that we're going to be hosting. We have some fundraising events, but particularly the MSA night coming up at Panda Express on September 1st. And then we'll talk more about some of the additional events happening.
Okay, and Shelley's on the call now too.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Shelley.
Shelley, did you want to introduce yourself and just tell us who your kids are? We all did that. The group.
Sure. I'm Shelley Doherty, and my daughter is Jenna Doherty. She's a sophomore.
And this is her first year at Saguaro, right?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Thanks, Shelley. So Melanie, did you want to talk a little bit about Panda Express or other?
Sorry, I
other
muted
things?
myself.
No, that's fine.
So yes, I put in the chat, there is a link. We have a lot of kind of traffic going in the chat. September 1st, we're having our first fundraiser of, like, we do restaurant nights and things, but this is actually because of September 1st, we have a half day. So, and actually all day at Panda Express, they're going to be giving us 28% of the proceeds. So we did really well with that last year towards the end of the year. So 28%, if you say MSA, and the directions and the link are, if I have to put it up, I can't scroll up right now, but it's in the chat. And also it's probably advertised on our Facebook page, and you can order online, and it's all day.
That's awesome. And those
That-
28% are great chunks of change that we get, which is great passive fundraising for us all. So I know my girls will be there getting orange chicken.
Yes, orange chicken.
Awesome. Okay. Very good. So thank you for that. And we will have these pretty much once a month was our regular cadence. We might have taken a break over the holiday month, December, but we like to offer these. They're a great community building option. As you know, we usually can hopefully be there in person somewhat together, but not only that, they have obviously raised money for the Booster Club, which is really important so that we can fund all these awesome programs for our kids in the school. So there'll be more information coming out about those. When you see those come out, just flag it and keep the flyer if there's a necessary flyer and so forth, but they're great opportunities.
And Kristen, the next one where Shanda and I were talking about, there's another half day. So last year we had Wednesday half days, like every Wednesday, but this year it's very limited on the half days. So the next one we're looking at is September 29th. So 2 in that month, just because it's the first and the 29th because of the half days, because we don't have any half days in October. So we'll TBD where we're having it. But we have a couple of different ideas. So September 29th will be the next one.
Great. That's perfect. Thank you. The next event, anything else, Melanie or Shelley, before I move on?
Nope.
Okay. The next event actually will be at our home, the Will household, the Will Casa, on September 19th. It's been traditional that we had a kind of a fall meet and greet social for the students. And so we weren't able to have that last year, and we really are hopeful that we can continue to have that outside for the students. And so we'll be having that on September 19th. That's a Sunday. And there'll be more information coming out about that soon. But there'll be food and drinks for the students to come and socialize, and parents too if they want to come. And we'll be having it in the later afternoon, I think 4 to 6 or 4:30 to 6:30 is what we're targeting. So it'll be a fun event and good for the students to be able to be together. The next big event that we've all been, I think, working very hard on is the auction. So thank you all on this call who've been really busy, hard at work on the auction. That is going to be held on November 13th. It will be at Ashley McAndrew's home, and we have more information and official invite coming for you soon. I'm going to have Katie and Shanda just give a quick update on that, if that's okay, and we'll talk more about that.
Okay. Yeah, so the auction, this is the first time we have attempted to do an auction or raffle for MSA. So we're really hoping to make some additional funds for all of our great programs that we assist with MSA. We will have a silent auction in person and online, raffle items and baskets available for auction as well. So like Kristen said, that's November 13th. Right now we are soliciting donations for items. So if there's anyone out there in the MSA community who owns a business, or if there's local businesses that you frequent who like to support the community, we definitely need donations and more assistance. So if you are interested in helping with the donation, we will have runners, we need basket makers, all kinds of stuff. So we would love to have you if you would like to assist with that, but please be on the lookout for additional information on our auction.
I
Yeah,
just want to
absolutely.
add, we're also looking, I think our person who was going to help with food, I believe that fell through. So we are also looking if anybody would like to be on the food committee, which is a really fun thing to, plan the food part.
Absolutely. So the event kind of we're theming around kind of a wine and cheese, fun hors d'oeuvres, meet and greet. So I think it'll be a really fun opportunity to plan.
Oh, yeah, so add a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah. Sometimes
I'm just going to ask if everyone can mute themselves. If you're not actively talking, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm not sure, Mr. Brand, if you're able to mute from your end with the controls, but before I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the auction. Any ideas or possible donation opportunities? Please feel free to contact any member of the board. Obviously, Shonda and Katie are the co-leads for the auction, so they're direct connects, but all of us can connect you to who you need to get to. So please reach out to any of us. We're happy to get your help and redirect you to the right person as well. So thank you so much. Yeah, and we do have a general email, the swarrowmsa@gmail.com as well. So that's a good way to reach us. The purpose of the auction is very intentional. We're trying to raise more funds to get support for our faculty. I think, I'm not sure exactly which year, Mr. Brandt, we started. I know it was a long time ago, and we had, I think, 3 to 5 students, and we have over 300. We have the same amount of faculty that we did when we started. I do know those numbers. So we depend heavily on volunteers, which have decreased during COVID. And so we are really wanting to raise funds to support actually bringing in actual internship support by interns perhaps, and also support for after school programs and other things that are needed by the faculty, as well as all the events that we host and put on as well. So all of that fundraising goes to your children and to support this club, which is a vital component of our school and our district. So thank you so much for supporting that. Any questions or comments on the auction or any of the events that we just went over? I just want to do a quick check-in to see if anyone has a question or comments.
I did just think of something. We are going to be offering part of the auction online. Some of our bigger items will be online, and this also allows us some preparation that just in case, we're allowing for people to participate who maybe aren't comfortable attending a live event. But in addition to that, we have a platform set up and ready to go just in case we need to go completely online, which hopefully we don't.
I'd just like to also have a shout out to not only Katie and Shonda for rallying this whole project, but also Shumana, who has website making talents that we didn't know about. So thank you so much, because we are going to have a website for this, which is amazing. So thank you. All right. So really, I'm sorry, what was that?
Would this be a good time for me to jump in with my treasurer update?
This would be a lovely time for that. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I have some notes here. Let me start with saying a big thank you. We've had 6 families, actually no, 7 families so far donate to our membership drive. Membership is everybody's automatically a member of the MSA Booster Club if your child is enrolled in the MSA. However, we do have suggested donation dues that that are greatly appreciated. We will take any amount. Some people are able to help out a little more, some people a little less, but you can make a donation by sending in a check mailed to the school, attention the Booster Club, or we also do have Zelle and PayPal. And the best way to find us through Zelle and PayPal is to use our email address, which is saguaromsa@gmail.com. And we do greatly appreciate those donations. They help support all of these great programs that we offer, like the study sessions. It also has helped us buy software and air purifiers for the classrooms, software for teachers that are trying to do things virtually or that will also benefit the classroom. They support graduation events and our social events, which, it's really difficult, especially during COVID, for kids that are new to the school, either because they're freshmen or they just transferred in. And the social events are, really important way of creating a sense of community and raising our kids' confidence, and also their desire to participate in all of the great opportunities. Sometimes it can, you might be a little intimidated, but if you meet somebody who says, hey, I did Mathlete and this is fantastic. And so we do appreciate everybody's support. And again, thanks to those 7 families. Another way you can support the Booster Club is by linking your Fry's card. If you have a Fry's card, you probably also have an online login, and you can just select Saguaro Math and Science Academy Booster Club as your charity. You can do the same through Amazon Smile. We will be at the open house tomorrow, and we also have Bashes and Sonic cards that we're selling. And we'll be there also to answer any questions or to help you if you need help linking your cards. So finally, I just wanted to mention that we have about $10,000 is the current MSA balance, which is a great way to start out the year, especially since we have big things in the works this year that we would like to support with our finances and with our time. So that's about where we are. And if you have any questions about other things that we might be using our money for, or even suggestions about where you'd like to see some of that money going, please reach out to us. Again, we all check the Saguaro email and are looking for input from our families. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Katie. So I think that leads us into the admin update other. We did cover the capstone already and the other updates. So I'm just going to circle back with our faculty, Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindberg, Mr. Miller, if we missed anything, if there's anything otherwise that you needed to update everyone on. And then if not, we can open up to questions.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I certainly am willing to answer any questions. I did send a little thing to the board requesting some stuff. We're trying to do a STEM outreach to Pueblo Elementary this year, and then possibly move that STEM outreach to our other feeder schools. The big issue, of course, is busing the kids. We're going to bring kids over to the Innovation Center, and we are going to utilize the STEM maker space curriculum from the Camp Invention Company to try to get the fourth graders over there at Pueblo very excited about STEM, and so that they will, in particular, our kids in our community, we want to get them going up the STEM pipeline. Mojave is going to really start working on their STEM, and they're going to try to get STEM certification. And so we're trying to build this pipeline into Saguaro so that we get lots of local kids very excited about STEM, because we think that it is, and we got a grant from the Scottsdale Foundation to buy this material. So we will be asking down the road for maybe some parent volunteers for that to help us with when we do the hands-on activities with the kids. So I know that there have been some parents who've kind of reached out and said, what can I do? And that would be super, because Mrs. Lindbergh and I are excited to have 30 or 40 little kids, but a little afraid. And so their teachers will be there, but that's one thing we're doing. Our kids are doing outstanding job at school. They're wearing their masks. They're doing all sorts of things to try to make sure that they can stay in person. And it's been a bumpy start of the year, but boy, I tell you, we have a lot of kids now that are really wanting to be involved, and I appreciate the parents and their support.
Great, thank you. And that's just one example too of the many outreach programs that we do over the year. I mean, we have the Sisters in STEM that comes in the fall, which is definitely a community outreach event. Our STEAM night, which obviously all of the Saguaro community and outside is open to, and many other events. So it's obviously all important for the fundraising and things that we support as the Booster Club. Speaking of which, I forgot one of my own things that I contributed to was I created a Google form attached in the agenda invite email. There was a electronic form of this that you can fill out and complete and send in. However, if you just like to point and click like I do, I made a Google form for you to complete, and we will collect the responses. It's just to let us know what type of volunteer opportunities that you might be personally able to contribute to, your time, your treasures, or your talents, and putting those in there, and we can connect with you for those, and letting us know maybe even some of the connections you might have in the community. A big part of this community here you see is that we're probably by proxy, a lot of us are in the STEM fields in our maybe professional lives. And so connecting, Mr. Brandt, Ms. Lindbergh, and Mr. Miller to those resources, either for internship opportunities or for guest speakers or whatever it might be, we would love to hear your ideas. So that's included in that Google form that you can complete. And we'll take a look at those as well. So amazing way to contribute and give back. Any other questions or comments or needs that we can address?
I can say one thing. We just are getting dues are trickling in. I just got a text, so thank you. So I think Schumann are writing everything in the chat is really helpful. We should do this every meeting. Thank you everyone who's donating. She put a lot of great information in the chat. Definitely join the Facebook page. Come to the Panda Fun. Come tomorrow night and see us in person.
Absolutely. Some general resources out there. I just thought I'd mention, I know everyone sees the emails from school, but sometimes I know they're easy to be missed. If your student is needing any extra support or help or tutoring, the Cat's Den tutoring is open now after school, particularly for math. And so I think that's a really important enrichment program that our Saguaro High School offers. So just take advantage of that. Very important. And we are working, this group's also working on writing actually an emergency support grant through the district to try to get additional funds and support for MSA. And we from time to time do things like that and write grants. So if you're a person who is involved in grant writing or has some expertise or background in that, please reach out. We'd love to have you help us. And any other questions? All right, I love the efficiency. We about 10 minutes to go. So hopefully there's no other, I don't see anything in the chat. But I, again, would love to, first of all, thank our faculty, the school leadership, all the parents here, everyone who's contributed, and the awesome board. And we are here, so please reach out to us if you have any questions. I do see a hand, so I'm gonna, someone's raising their hand. Melanie, thank you.
Yeah, I do have a question. That the Cat's Den tutoring reminded me of the email that was sent out from the school district, and maybe this Mr. Brandt or Susan have info on it, or Mr. Miller. It said if your kid is staying home, or if they're exposed to COVID, they have to stay home or whatever, and that there's varsity tutoring. And I had never heard what varsity tutoring is. Does anybody know how to access that? Because that could be a situation. I've already had one kid have to quarantine a couple days, and just because he had a sinus infection, he didn't have COVID, but he has to stay home. And so he would have benefited from varsity tutoring, but I don't know what that is. You guys know? Anyone on the call?
I do know what varsity tutoring is. It's a national tutoring organization that does virtual tutoring. That's pretty awesome. But I don't know how to access it. I'm not sure if Mr. Brandt knows anything more, Ms. Lindberg or Mr. Miller.
I am not sure. I know it's something that the district is doing for the students. I'm not sure exactly how, but I will find out tomorrow, and then I'll send that to the board. Maybe we can get that information out to the MSA students. So I'll look into that tomorrow morning, and then ask Mrs. Lindberg to email the information to the students. And
that would be great. Also, what we can do is when we send out the minutes, which will be in the next few days, we will include that specific information in the minutes. So thank you.
Thanks.
And Melanie raises a good point about quarantine or isolation. It's being handled obviously differently this year than last, because last year we had, simultaneous synchronized learning live, and that's not necessarily happening in all the classes, although I know some teachers are trying to offer that. I think it just varies, if I'm understanding it correctly, from teacher to teacher. Is that correct, Mr. Brandt or Mr. Miller?
Yeah, it's correct. It's not required this year. Some teachers are offering it.
Yeah. Okay.
That may change. So I mean, this is all fluid. There are cameras now in every single classroom, and our district is going to do what it needs to do to make sure that we are accommodating our students that are quarantined and that sort of thing. So yeah, right now it's optional, and teachers are doing what they can when there's just a few kids out. But if the numbers increase, then I would guess you'll see us go back to synchronized learning.
I think we have one more question too. Greg has a question. Greg Patzer.
Oh, it's actually Lena. I have my
Hi,
son is hi Melanie. My son's a junior, and that was actually my question. One of his teachers, his language arts teacher, is offering to Zoom her class, because that is a concern, especially with the kids in these difficult classes, is that if they're forced to quarantine or obviously stay home if they're not feeling well. I was just wondering if there was something we as parents could do to maybe encourage the teachers to want to all Zoom the class to make it a little easier on the kids who have to stay home, or obviously to make the right decision to stay home. Because I know that they start to feel like they get behind, even missing, 2 or 3 days of school.
Mhm.
And I know that like all the cameras are there in the classrooms because it was done last year. So I'm just kind of confused as to why it's not being offered across the board this year with the COVID going the way that it is, especially. I don't know if anyone can answer that, or if anyone has any ideas about how, I don't know if other parents have the same concern I do.
Yes.
But
I think
if
it's,
there's
yeah,
something we could do to maybe like help and encourage, not it just being an option for the teachers, but maybe it's sort of the standard instead.
mhm. I mean, that's a concern at all levels of learning. I know, you know, at ASU, I'm faculty, that's a concern. It's a concern everywhere. So there's a very, a balance of it. So I think that probably is a good question for our administration. Would you agree with that, Mr. Brandt, as to what parents can do to kind of find out more about that and what they might be able to?
Yeah, once, that is a question for our administration, our principal. She would know the most information because she goes to principal meetings so many times a week, it's ridiculous. And I know that they're in discussion about this. They really wanted this year to have the students that want to be online, and then the classrooms to return to normal. But it is becoming apparent that that is not going to happen. We have too many kids out now on quarantine. And so there has been discussions. I don't really know where it is. We would have to ask Ann Oxinger. She would be able to know, or Dan Milligan. Unfortunately, they're at the board meeting, but I can inquire. I do believe that our parents, are a force through our PTO and through the MSA, and I don't think there's any problem with a student asking a teacher, or a parent asking a teacher, is there any way my student is at home? Could you stream this class? They really feel like they're falling behind. So I think you can ask the teachers, and most of the teachers are going to be agreeable to it right away. So that's one thing you can do.
Okay, thank you.
And can I just speak to that really quick? So I know that we have had some teachers who have already volunteered to do that. So, I totally support what Mr. Brandt said. And I think a lot of it though is out of the hands of like the specific school, even the specific district. I mean, I think it goes all the way up to, teachers union and things within the state and things like that. So even if Saguaro felt like, okay, this is what we need to have all of our teachers do, I don't believe Saguaro would have the power or the opportunity to require that of all their teachers. But again, asking the teachers personally is a great way to go, because we've already had teachers who see that need and have decided that that's what they're going to do for their students.
Yeah, and like Mr. Brandt said, everything is very fluid. I know things change on a daily basis for us all. And so having that flexibility and just reaching out, I think open communication with your students, teachers, and obviously all of us in administration is a really positive thing. So one of my colleagues said we all need to have our pivot pants on. So I like that expression. I'm using that from now on. Pivot pants. Any other questions or comments? Okay, great. So hearing none, I would like to thank everyone for attending. I'd like to thank the board and faculty and all their support, and wishing everyone a very successful fall. We will see you either in person or virtually next month. Don't forget about the Innovation Center open house tomorrow, though. So that will be an in-person event. And we wish you all a great week.
Night. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Have a good night.
Mr. Brandt, I have a quick question for you too. And Shelley Shelley, if you can stay on too, that'll be really good. For 1 sec. For the Panda Express, the catering, do you want to do a menu? Because they have so much on the menu, because I think you need some lunches for September 1st.
As soon as I get the final commitment from the teachers, I will reach out to you and we'll see if we can have them make some kind of choice. I'm sure it's all to be orange chicken.
Okay, yeah, orange chicken. Yeah, just because I worry like people's different allergies and stuff or whatever, if they can do that. So that'll be easier for us.
You guys don't have anything else going that day, like an in-service or is that a good day for us to bring food for you?
It's a district in service. And so probably Mr. Miller will have to be at the district in service. Mrs. Lindbergh and I will probably be excused from that so that we can put on an in-service. I'm actually requesting that it become a district in service for the Pueblo fourth grade teachers. But it's kind of crazy because, they get out of school a little later than us, and then they also have to do bus duty. And so that's why they won't even get over to Saguaro until probably 1:30. So we're planning on doing it from 1:30 to 3:30. So we said, well, they won't get lunch. So let's give them lunch and then kind of go over everything we want to do for them. And so, and make it like, oh, this is fun. We get to go have lunch at the Innovation Center.
We had talked about catering that event, but I don't think the teachers are going to want Panda Express, unfortunately. Like, I think if that was a day that we were doing a fundraiser at like maybe Einstein's or Lucy's, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. But so the day that you and I were just emailing about earlier today, Mr. Brandt, is the same day that we're doing our Panda Express fundraiser, correct?
Right. And I think the teachers would love Panda.
You do?
Yeah.
I love Panda Express. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we can do that. We can cater from there. I don't know if you want us to just get like a handful of meals that are the most popular, you know what I mean? Like teriyaki chickens and, orange chickens and things like that. If we want to ask people for their order, which is not difficult, we can do that and everybody can have kind of a custom order. How do you want to do that?
I think it would be great if we could say, hey, it's Panda Express. Let us know what you want us to bring in for you.
Sounds great.
That
way we know how many too.
Yeah. And then everybody gets their order. I think Ashley, you were just not on the call, heard that part because for dietary reasons. That's okay.
That's
what it was.
In and out.
No. I just thought I'd grab him so we didn't have to do the email thing and just get it. Yeah. And then we get the 28% back. So it's really double, it's really good. Yeah.
I actually think I'm going to try to feed the entire volleyball team at Panda Express that same day.
Yay.
Because I'm doing the meals for that. So that would be really a lot of money.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, we'll do that then. We'll just wait for you, Chris, to give us your orders. And then Shelley's the day runner.
I'm so sorry. I have one more question that kind of involves fundraising. And this might be like thinking way too much out of the box. But I was trying to envision being inside of the Innovation Center. So one thing that we're doing right now with volleyball is, I don't know if you guys have noticed in the gym, like what a mess the wall is. Like some of the banners have been up there for years and I don't think anybody's collecting on them. I don't think that anybody, so we've contracted out with a company. We're going to work with basketball and cheer. We're going to try to make everything look, cohesive. And we've had like three companies already that have been like, oh yeah, we'll give you $500 to hang our banner. One of them is related to Bunny Ritchie, and it's a medical type of company. So is there a possibility to have like a sponsorship and hang small banners, especially if they're companies that are like STEM related, like medical companies, in the Innovation Center, or not? It was just something that crossed my mind, because in like 3 days, we've got $1,500 of people that want a banner hung.
Let me talk with people about that and find out. I mean, I know they do that on the football field and the baseball field. Baseball makes a ton of money off their banners that they have hanging on there. So I don't know. I mean, we would definitely have to then get some banners for the ones who have given me, so much money. And
I thought about that. Right. I thought about that. We definitely have to have like something big for Northrop Grumman, and I don't know if the Farley Foundation, probably they wouldn't have a banner. I don't know. But I know that did cross my mind that might be a complication.
Yeah. So let me talk with our administration about that and see what's going on with that. I mean, certainly we could recognize anyone by, maybe we have a banner that has all of the companies that have donated, maybe a single banner. Maybe that's something, we'll recognize you on a banner that is hanging with all our sponsors. I don't know if we want to put banners up all over the Innovation Center from all the sponsors. And how long do you leave the banner? 1 year if they sponsor?
Well, how we're doing it is it's $500 for the first year, and it's $400 for the second year, and it's $300 for the third year. But I mean, we could get creative in the ways that we might be doing advertising or sponsors, whether it's a banner, whether it's printing things on some of our literature. Like I said, I'm just thinking of fundraising options.
Yeah. Well, certainly if they're donating to the boosters, you could put it on the booster webpage and our parent group social media and that sort of thing. I don't know. Let me think about that, Ashley, and talk to a few people and just see how that would work.
Okay, if there's no more questions, Shelley, I want to see your Ridgeback, because as you know, I have one too.
You're on mute, Shelley.
I'm so bad at Zoom. So sorry.
That's okay. What?
I said I'm so bad at Zoom.
No, you're not.
Okay, can I see your Ridgeback?
What I'm doing. Yeah.
Can
I think so. Kai. Mr. Brandt, can you get me the orders of the teachers so that I can you say hi? You say hi? Say hi?
Oh, so cute.
He's so big and beautiful. He's a boy, right?
Girl.
Oh, that's a girl. Oh my gosh. Wow.
You say hi? Yeah, I know.
As soon as I get the orders, I will send them to you.
Okay, that sounds great. Maybe by the day prior, maybe?
Okay, that sounds
Would be great.
Good.
And then just let me know what time you want them there too. Like, I don't know what time you're.
It's
Just
probably
just tell me everything and I'll do it.
okay. Thank you so much, Shelley.
Yep.
Thank you, Shelley. And Shelley's bringing water
That's awesome,
tomorrow
Shelley.
for the
Already brought it.
innovation. Yeah.
She
Oh, she
already
already
brought
got it. It's all there.
Dropped it off today.
Yep.
Awesome. Is there anything else you needed, Shelley? Because you had called me. If not, I can call you.
No, I was just want to make sure that it was the Panda Express was good for everybody. So it sounds like it's a go, and we'll have it there.
Okay. Bye. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.